Hi everybody, my name is Susanna. I'm a senior UX designer and a UX design educator. Welcome to Practical Tips for the Everyday Designer. This series of videos is dedicated to those who are new to design and need some help and guidance when it comes to search for a job and help with navigating the day-to-day work as a designer. So let me talk a little bit about myself so you understand my experience. I always teach and educate based on it's my cat, on my experience, and I want to also get to know a little bit about it and maybe even get inspired. So I'm actually Portuguese. I live here in Spain, but I used to live before Spain in the Netherlands. That's where my cat is from. She speaks Portuguese though. Her name is Yuki. I started my career many years ago. I studied arts in high school, if you want to go back to that. After that, I went to university where I did the undergraduate degree in audiovisual and multimedia. When I finished, I was 21 and I started to work as a multimedia designer at a small company. After that, I worked in other advertising companies, agencies back in Lisbon, among them Aves Worldwide. It used to be called something else, but it's Aves. Also DDB, part of, Tribal DDB, that is part of DDB, it's the digital part of it, and also a smaller agency called Way Next. After these 7 years, more or less, I decided to learn more. I always really enjoy learning more, and even when I was working as a designer already, I was always doing courses and workshops to learn more. I went to the university to take my master's degree in design in multimedia, where I learned a lot of different things, more technical, but also I went deep into topics like typography, for example, and I really enjoyed it. For my master thesis, I applied to a program that exists in the Netherlands from a school. I did the Erasmus Mundis, I believe, that is for sort of like internships kind of thing. And I did my my thesis working a semester there in this program that was a design innovation program from the university there. It was called Media Lab Amsterdam. Nowadays it's called Digital Society School. I highly recommend you to check it. I learned a lot. I learned a lot of new methods, a lot of new ways of thinking things. I got like acquainted with a lot of things that at the time we just didn't do it in Portugal, at least from the circle I was in, and that got me really excited into going into UX and learning more things. My cat is still here because she really loves to be in the camera. She's pretty, so I think it's okay. I finished my master thesis, so I wrote my thesis about the process of designing a digital solution in this program that I was at. We created a solution for people that had psychosis. We worked with real clients and real users. It was a very interesting project. When I finished my master, I presented my thesis, very typical. Then I found a job in the Netherlands. So I went back to Amsterdam and I was working at this small UX boutique, and I did a lot of work for Philips mainly. So until then I was just working in agencies, okay? So there was clients and the type of work is a bit different. After that, I moved into product. I went to work in a company called QB that belongs to Eneco. It was sort of innovation part of Eneco, and we were designing a smart thermostat. So actually we were designing for a specific device with specific measures, which is very interesting because I found that most of people think that that designers just do apps and websites. No, we can do much more, especially nowadays, okay? It's like going all over. Anyways, that's another topic, I think. So after that, at QB, I was working as a visual designer, but I started to go deeper and deeper into learning more UX, and I was working with really good colleagues that taught me a lot, and I started to be the lead designer for the mobile team, and I just grow immensely there, so I really appreciate that. I got the chance also to have a lot of autonomy, and for the first time to work really close with developers and teams. And I just really enjoy the process and how things work when you work in a tech company or a startup. Okay. So after that, I got a bit tired of the weather in the Netherlands, to be honest, being Portuguese, and I found a job here in Barcelona to work as a senior UX/UI designer in a company that was called Let Go. In the meanwhile, it got acquired and so on. All of these things happen, and I can also talk about that so you get to understand a little bit how these things work. It was a second-hand marketplace. It was during the pandemic, so when I moved here into Barcelona after 3-4 months, more or less that, I don't know, 5 months maximum, it started the pandemic, so we started to work from home. It was very complex. A lot of people got fired, lost their jobs. I kept my job. And we got part of the company was sold, and we focused in the Turkish market, and I was leading a new business, and it went very well. I facilitated workshops, etc., a bunch of things. I have a whole video, actually, well, a webinar I gave for Design Lab talking about that. Maybe I will drop the link below if you want to check that. I think it's very interesting to understand how you can launch, well, an MVP from the side of the designer. Okay. After that, while I was still working there, I got invited to start teaching here in Barcelona in a boot camp, and I started to really enjoy it. Little by little, I started to search more opportunities for teaching and mentoring, and I found myself really enjoying the part of my work that was about workshops and taking decisions and ideating and taking together, and I really felt like that my energy was always super high when I was doing this stuff. And even though I was working 8 hours and I would teach 3 more hours, I was super hyped when I finished. So I thought, maybe this is my calling. I should be doing this. So I actually, little by little, start collaborating with other schools. Nowadays, I work with UX Design Institute and with Design Lab, and I have my own programs. So after this, the Let Go experience, I still work at our help for about 6 months, and I decided that I needed a break, and little by little, I started to grow my collaboration with the schools, and I invested in my own business, so I started my own programs and mentorships, and why not have a YouTube channel? I have so much to share, and I think it's so important to touch points that are not touched so much when you are doing a boot camp, or maybe you are learning from home alone. So this is a little project that I'm doing now, and I hope it's useful for all of you. Yeah.